be a sponge, and then bring the juice.
By focusing on your improvement, by focusing on your progress, and eliminating any fixed mindset that you may have and acts of perfectionism, then you encourage your own mastery.
On some level, we do what we want to do 24 hours a day. Now, sometimes it may not seem like that, but if I'm choosing to work instead of sleep, what I'm actually saying is keeping my job is more important than sleeping.
I'm tired of this. I'm tired of getting beat. What can I do to get over this hump? So mentally, that's when I kind of put that forefront, like, hey, it's either all or nothing.
I like to put failure in quotations because I don't believe that failure is true failure if you're looking at it with the right mindset.
The truth is, the journey to greatness is hard. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes focus, and every day you have to decide what you value, what you want to pursue, and what you want to achieve. And if you dig deep enough, if you push hard enough, we all have what it takes to be great. Welcome to the Edge of Greatness.
Hello and welcome back to the Daily Dose. It is January 3rd, and leading into the beginning of the new year, I read an interesting statistic that said that 43% of people who set New Year's resolutions believe they will fail them by February. That's an absurd number. They believe they will fail by February. That's a month in. There's still 11 months to succeed at your goals, and most people, almost half of the people who set goals, believe they're going to fail before the end of the first month. And I think a big problem and a big part of that is they don't define the parameters of their goal. They don't define success. They don't define how they're going to attack each and every day. So one of the things that I do is I take a larger goal for the year, and then I break it down into checkpoints, and then I break it down into daily actions. The daily actions is the only thing I really focus on. And then every now and then, every couple months, I see where I'm at in accordance to the checkpoints to make the end goal. If you are constantly staring at the big picture goal, it's going to become overwhelming and you're going to want to quit. You're going to be discouraged. And I think that's part of the problem is that first, you're looking at this huge goal, because I would assume that if you're setting a resolution or a goal, it's not something that you already do really well, or it's not something that's small and easily attainable. And that becomes big and difficult to navigate. The other part of that is because it's a goal and it's a change, you have to create habits to fit that goal. Changing habits and creating new habits is very difficult, especially if you're not paying attention to what's required of building those habits. So for this year, I actually set 6 new daily tasks, only one of which is something that I was already doing relatively well. Within those tasks, I've decided that I'm going to build a calendar out and I'm going to mark wins for each day. I'm going to track the percentage of wins. I'm going to grade myself. It's going to be a ongoing habit tracker. And my bet is if I consistently hit wins on my daily tasks, I will eventually find myself winning the bigger goal. And so I set it up in a spreadsheet. If I hit 50% or less, it's a red. That's a bad day. If I hit 50, I think it's 55% to 84%, that's a yellow day. I did okay. And then anything above 83%, because I think that's just what the numbers worked out to be, because five out of 6 is 83% or something like that. But at the end of the month, I have it set for 85%, 55 to or 65 to 85% is yellow. Below that is red. And if I can get green months, if I can have winning months, I believe I will have a winning year. But again, I've broken it down into smaller, simpler, easy to manage tasks that I can attack each day. So for example, the goals I have and the things that I'm trying to do on a daily basis is I want to post to LinkedIn. I want to do one of these. This is part of my new regiment. I want to write 100 words for my new book. I want to email a guest to be on the podcast. I want to read for 15 minutes. I want to work out for an hour. Those are the daily tasks. And then I have 2 weekly tasks that are larger that go into that same kind of arena. And the weekly tasks are the newsletter, which I've already been doing, so it's not a big change. I just have to make sure that I continue to do it. And then the new thing that I'm adding in for the weekly tasks is I want to write a blog post once a week, which is what I'm planning on doing today after I get off here and I finish up talking to you guys. But I have created a schedule. I've created a system. I've created a organizational structure to help me manage the change of my life and schedule to fit these new goals. There's too often that we set these massive goals, but we don't break them down to understand what's required of us to achieve them. So don't become one of the statistics this year. Don't get sucked into, well, I didn't start well, or I didn't do well out the gate, or I don't know what I'm doing. You can always fix that. Even if you're having a rough stretch, get back on track. There's too much time left in the year to give up on the goals you set before you hit the springtime. I mean, heck, before you hit next year, you shouldn't stop fighting for that goal. You definitely shouldn't stop before the month's out. So if you need help organizing your goals, if you need help creating structure in those plans, let me know. I'd be happy to help. I could share what I do with mine. It's pretty simple. It's not anything extravagant or life-shattering, but it holds me accountable. It keeps me on track. It gives me a visual display of the wins and the losses. So that way, for me, I can make sure I never miss twice. Because I'm going to miss. That's life. That's just how it works. But don't miss twice. So I hope this one's helpful. I'm going to continue to work on some of these. I'm going to get some quotes in here. I'm going to continue to work down the path of some of the things that I'm talking about and hearing about and working through personally. So in the meantime, guys, keep reaching for the stars. Fall flat on your face. Remember, whenever we fall, always get up.
Thank you for joining us today on the Edge of Greatness podcast. If you haven't yet, please take a minute now to subscribe and review our show. Join us again next week as we continue to dig deeper into the key components of greatness. The path to greatness is never linear, so remember to keep pursuing greatness no matter what. Keep stretching your abilities, reach for the stars, and fall flat on your face. But remember, no matter what happens, whenever we fall, always get up. Until next time, I'm Charles Schultz, and this was the Edge of Greatness podcast.